Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to yet another video. This time I am joined by Julien, who is
Hello.
moderator of RPDL. First off, hello Julien, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay. Anyways, we're gonna go through these items and tell you if they're good for Series 9 draft for VGC. By we, mostly him.
What? No.
There's
The
a
list
lot of really
that
bad
so
items
scuffed.
and a lot of items we
Yeah.
can't use, so that's all this bottom category is. But to go up to the top, we have the category rundown here. Every week, you bring this item. These are the best of the best items. You won't go wrong if you bring them. Hands down, that's what that top is. The second category, you bring them most of the time, but you don't bring them all of the time. Self-explanatory there. The next one are team-based items. So items that are very reliant on what your team is, and that will make them good. So like for example, if you're a rain team, Damp Rock is something that is still better for you, whereas if you're a sun team, it does nothing for you. So that's polarizing items is a better way to describe that. We have usable items which are generally worse than what is above them, but they're still fine. Extreme case items, which again, just really, really rare, and then don't ever use. Alright, so Julian, do you want to kick us off with the first item? We have the Absorb Bulb.
I think the Absorb Bulb is really good, but extremely team dependent. Yeah, you basically need a way to proc it and also something that can make use of it. It's usually just a bad weakness policy. Wait, should we explain what they do?
Oh yeah, so Absorb Bulb gives you a special attack boost if you are hit with a water attack. So like he said, it's like a worse weakness policy. The only time I see this being used is if you have something on your team that gets procced by like a surf weakness policy, or like your policy gets activated by surf. This is like something you can do as well.
Like addition on a different Pokemon. Or
Yeah.
like with weakness policy, you try to deal as little as damage as possible to your Pokemon, but with Absorb Bulb, let's say you have a strong Surfer on the team, and then something that resists water next to it that can make use of the special tech boost or something like that. Or if you already have a Pokemon with weakness policy, weak to water, and Aqua Jet user, and then also throw that on or something like that. It has uses, but you barely bring it.
Yeah, it's more like the bottom of team-based items. Like, yeah, obviously you, you can use it with your surf stuff, but it's not an
And
item you can rely on a lot of the time.
And I think Surf is basically the only use because you usually don't want to use an Aqua Jet for just a +1. You'd rather
Oh.
click Helping Hand,
I
I
see
guess. So
Rotom
yeah, it's
Wash
probably only
being the
Surf.
main user of this. I think Rotom Wash would benefit greatly from this. Like it
Yeah,
resists
that could work.
surf and it needs some type of buff to do any damage. So
I almost prodded on Premier Arena once, but never did. It can work on a mon like that. Like it's slow, so the Surf or whatever always goes first without a Scarf or anything. But yeah, it's really situational, I think.
all right. Next up we have the Adrenaline Orb. You want to tell them what this does?
When you get intimidated, you get a +1 speed boost. Like I think I agree with you with the extreme cases. I never once thought about bringing it.
I against Incineroar teams or like teams with Arcanine or Hitmontop maybe, but this is so extremely rare to use. Like it's one of those items that yes, it does like something consistent, but the issue is it's not consistent.
Exactly. It's so weird. Like either you want to bring it on your physical attacker so that it always procs when it gets intimidated to do its thing, but then you also have the -1 attack, or you bring it on your special attack or whatever, but then maybe opponent just doesn't switch it in because they don't need the damage nerf on you. So it's kind of awkward in my opinion.
Yeah, I've seen it
Like
used though. This is not like something that is just random. Yeah, like I've seen
it
it
can be
used.
super strong. I think honestly, the hardest thing about this is building properly with it. Like
Hmm.
if you know how to properly build with it, it can be strong. I feel like that's the thing that's holding it back, kinda.
A little bit of a skill cap. So I think extreme cases is 100% where this belongs. If we have like a baseline of what that category is, Adrenaline Orb is that.
Yeah, honestly, I could see moving it later up to usable when we put more in extreme cases that are worse or something. But for
Yeah.
now, it feels like the correct category.
Exactly. All right. Next up, we have Heatran's item, Air Balloon, and
Yeah,
I will
this is
say it's definitely
absolutely.
usable.
I was about to say it's definitely bring every week because how else are you supposed to win with your mono steel team?
I've only brought this, I think, once.
Yeah, that's so disappointing.
I
I mean,
know,
it's a
but
cool item.
it's very mon dependent, but also like even pairing it with like Earthquake,
Yeah,
so
like
it
it's
100%
also
usable.
it's also sad that you lose the terrain boosts or psychic terrain protection or misty terrain protection and stuff
Ah,
like that. Like it's just the tiniest nerf, but it can be annoying.
yeah, it's mostly on things like Heatran, Nihilego,
Yeah,
Raichu, things that are weak to ground. It's like you're gonna two-shot them anyway. Might as well turn that from a one-hit KO to a two-hit KO.
yeah.
So
Oftentimes, Shuka is better, but it's definitely usable, and I think better than uh, the Adrenaline Orb.
yeah, what's not better than Adrenaline Orb is a Spear Berry.
I don't even know what this does.
It cures freeze.
Oh my god, that's this is so bad. I don't think I need to say anything about it.
Just the fact that every freeze move is 10%, and Lumberry is so much better in every scenario.
Like, if you're playing against someone who has 3 Pokemon that spam Blizzard, okay, you put this also on your team next to the Lumberry, I guess, but yeah, I'd be surprised if anyone ever uses that. Like, really, Blizzard spam where you already have Lumberry on the team is the only scenario I could think of.
Yeah, it's a very inefficient item compared to what actually exists. Alright, next up we have the Assault Vest. And I know
Yeah.
where I'm putting it, but let's see what your thoughts of where this one goes.
It's every or most weeks. I'm honestly not sure. I think with Dynamax it could be actually an every week
I'm
thing. Wait, honestly, just because it's so matchup dependent, it's only most weeks. Like if you're playing against someone who has a lot of physical attackers, it's kind of useless. So it might just be most weeks, to be honest.
I think it's really strong. It's
Definitely, for sure.
definitely more matchup dependent if they have obviously more physical type
Yeah,
attackers, but it is definitely one of the strongest items in draft in my opinion.
for
Giving
sure.
something just like I've run this on Cinderace, and just knowing that
Oh,
it can take hits better in draft is significant. So I almost want to put it in every week, but there are cases where the opponents have all physical attackers, but you should be beating them anyway.
yeah. Just from how powerful it is, it should be in every week, but it just doesn't make sense to bring every week. So yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's definitely
it can
correct here.
definitely be up here though.
But
It's
it's not a
just
power level thing for it.
no. What is a power level thing is how bad berry juice is. Not in this format, but in a little cup format, this thing's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it would probably bring every week. But yeah,
I
here
forget what
it
does it
heals by
actually
20
do.
HP, right?
Let me see what this does. It restores by 20,
Yeah.
but this is where Pokemon have 150, 200 HP. That's not a lot of HP gain, whereas there's other berries that do that better. So
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything. It's actually worse than the ice berry. That's the sad part.
yeah, it is sadly. We ready for another bad item?
Oh no.
A big root.
I I could actually see it doing stuff, I guess, but like I don't know. If on your evil tile when you're spamming Oblivion Ring, maybe?
Why would you just not run like black glasses or like something
Wait, how
like that? Or
much
not black glass.
does it heal?
Does this say
I
how
don't
much
know
that
how much
does?
actually.
It just says recovers more HP from HP stealing moves.
Okay, I mean it's probably useless.
It more or less should be useless.
Oh wait, uh,
Go offensive Comfey Well, I guess it only increases HP gain. It doesn't even increase damage. I feel like a
Yeah,
damaging
roughly
increase item works
30%.
better than this because you heal more
Oh,
HP anyway.
that's why Oblivion Ring is the only move. It would make sense, I think, because Oblivion Ring heals way more than other moves. But yeah, everything else it's actually useless, I
Yeah.
think. So yeah,
Another
okay,
useless
yeah, never
item.
use.
The Binding Band.
Is
I've
there
seen this on
any
one
relevant move?
Pokemon.
Shackle?
G-Max
Damn.
Sandaconda.
Oh, that counts as. Wait, what?
Yeah,
Interesting.
because Sand Tomb and Fire Spin, even from G-Max Sent to Scorch, you can use this to
Oh,
increase the power of those.
I thought it really like moves like specifically bind and stuff. Okay, that's really cool. That's actually not not horrible.
I feel like those two Pokemon are just so bad though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely never use item, but it's better than I expected because I didn't know it counts for those. I really thought it moves like bind and stuff. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a
But
cool item,
definitely
but
never used.
if you want to win, it's not where you want to be. All
Yeah.
right, Black Sludge. This one's a tough one for me. It's definitely not never use, but
Yeah, I think it's actually used.
it's
Well,
more team dependent, I guess too. I guess so. Black
yeah.
Sludge is a better leftovers for poison types, and it hurts non-poison types.
I mean, that's the reason why it's better.
Yeah. Well, it heals more, I think too.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure it heals the same amount, right?
I thought it healed more because that was the reason
Oh,
poison
wait, that
types
would
are
be
running it.
amazing. I didn't know.
Yeah.
No, the reason is because if opponents switcheroos you, that they lose something instead of gaining the leftovers. That's the reason. But I thought, but I might be completely wrong.
I'm pretty sure it heals more. Let
Oh,
me
that's so cool.
let me see if much does this heal? It says
So
heals restores 1/16 of poison type. It might be
yeah,
the
that's
same
that
then.
was.
Oh yeah, they heal the
Oh,
same.
but
Never
the
mind.
loss is more. You lose 1/8
Oh
instead of.
dear. So this
Oh,
is like a
that's
tricked item?
yeah. So basically, you have your leftovers as a poison type, but if they switch Yuru, they lose a lot of damage, health.
Yeah, they lose a lot of health. 1/8 is a lot.
I thought it's the same amount as leftovers that they lose. That's really cool. Yeah, it's usable, but like you don't use a lot of poison types, and most of the poison types aren't too bulky if they're not Weezing or something. Weezing might actually be one of the few Pokemon you would put this on in a Series 9 VGC draft,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. But another thing, if you're gonna run this, you're gonna have the leftovers somewhere else.
I
'Cause it,
mean, you really only want Weezing, then you definitely put this on instead of leftovers.
right, but like it kind of does what leftovers does
Yeah,
for only
like
poison types, and I guess it can do the extra stuff. But why would you be
yeah.
tricking this when you can trick anything
No, like
else?
if the opponent wants to trick your item. So, like if you have leftovers and you're Weezing, the opponent could just steal them and give you a shit item. But if you have this on them, on your Weezing, they don't really want to do that. Like it's
That's true.
unlikely to happen, but it has some addition loose. Like why not have this instead of leftovers?
Yeah.
But yeah, is there any Pokemon you could think of that's good in a Series 9 draft that would use this?
So we're looking at bulky poison types.
Yeah,
So we
basically.
have Amoonguss, but
Oh,
you but
true,
you're running
true.
the like a Resist Berry
Yeah, I'm
or
just so used
Sash.
Focus Session Resist Berry, but yeah, that makes sense.
What
Yeah,
other
that's
poison
a good
types?
item.
Dragalge maybe, Garbodor,
That works. Oh, G-Max Garbodor
Quillfish maybe,
works. Yeah, it's usable. I'd say.
Slowbro and Slowking Galar,
Oh
Tentacruel
wait, there was a
maybe,
poison. There's
Toxapex. But
there's
Toxapex isn't
way more
that
than I
good.
thought.
Yeah, there's a lot of bulkier poison types
Yeah,
like this.
Toxapex. Like if you want to spam White Guard, but that's all it does.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
but
usable.
it's usable but not good. All right, Blunder Policy is the next item, and this
I think
is
it's
when
so
you.
shit.
I mean, it is funny. So it's whenever you miss, you get +2 speed.
It's probably actually bring on extreme cases instead of never use. Like
God.
I could see running this on something with hypnosis or whatever. Either you put your opponent asleep or you faster next turn, and I don't know, click by hypnosis again, but faster. I don't actually know what to do with that.
This is like the big brain like thing when you could just
Yeah,
run
like
wide lens and hit your move instead of blunder policy.
yeah, I don't know. Whenever someone talks about it, it went amazing. But probably like 90% of the time it didn't work, and they just don't say it, and you don't know that it was absolutely shit.
All right,
I don't know. I think
I
it
got the
can do
use.
something,
You
but
miss your
I don't
bolt
feel like it's
peak.
never used.
You miss your bolt peak. You get speed, then you Dynamax.
So you need to survive first, and if you don't get the speed boost, like yeah, you hit, but next turn you still get outsped and hit. I don't know. This is so weird.
There's some cool items, and this is one of them, but it's
Yeah,
not
it's
something you're gonna win with.
I just don't understand how to use it. It sounds cool, but my brain just can't comprehend what to do with it.
Yeah. What your brain can comprehend with though is how bright powder is also extreme cases.
Oh man, I almost want to put this in usable. It's like when your
It's
focus
on
sash is
two
taken.
Pokemon. That's what I see this on.
Okay,
Garchomp
okay.
and
That was the
Glaceon.
Oh, Glaceon. Yeah, Garchomp was the only one I had in mind. But yeah, I could definitely see this. If your focus sash is taken and you have two frail mons, you just put this on the other? I don't know, irrelevant to this.
I
Maybe
see
it
like
still makes it
it's
on the
stacking with
Steam cases.
Sandbell or Snowcloak is like
Yeah.
where this could be used.
Like,
And
I
I've
think
actually
it's
seen
super
people
cool on
do this.
Garchomp.
So like with Garchomp in particular, I've seen people do this.
Like, it's so hard to not bring Lumberry or Life Hop on Garchomp, but it's definitely cool to do. Maybe it's really only bring Steam cases, but I think it's on the edge
Yeah.
between usable and. Like, I think it's better than Adrenaline Orb.
Uh, all right. The counterpart to Zorbulb, the cell battery.
I feel like it's
So was this
why
the
do you
same
favor it up?
thing but electric move? Is that what this was?
Attack and not special attack. But yes.
Oh, that's what that was. It was attack. What does
Yeah.
this say? Huh?
So
Yeah, it's attack.
I want to make sure earlier that it doesn't stack with like Volt Absorb or whatever, because if you put this on an Electivire with Motor Drive and then discharge, it would be so cool. You get a speed and attack increase, but unfortunately those prevent the proccing of the cell battery. So I think it's really shit. Like you either need to target your teammate and waste the move, or you click discharge and possibly paralyze it unless it's an electro type. And electric types are usually not physically offensive. It's just kind of awkward to me.
Again, this is the Rotom thing. You side Volt Switch into it, and then you don't do any damage to it.
I guess,
Oh
but
no,
then
wait,
you
no, but
click
that's never
Volt
mind.
Switch and
Rotom
do
is
anything.
the special attacker. This is attack.
Oh, yeah, also, I didn't
That's
even
terrible.
realize. Like, I really think only discharge because I really don't want to Volt Switch to my partner. Unless, oh, wait, unless I bring out Stone Journer for the additional damage on
Well,
top of the
we could do
attack
this
raise.
with Tapu Koko, and we can discharge our own like against our own Tapu Koko.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
Like something
That's
like an
one of the
electric
few
type that
Pokemon.
resists it and is physical. Like physical
But
electric types is what it would be good for.
you basically need a Scarfer then. Or like if you're in a slow matchup, bring slow Tapu Koko. Yeah, like it has a use, but personally I think actually it's worse than Absorb Bulb. I don't know why, it just feels worse because either you need to target your teammate or potentially paralyze yourself.
I think just because Surf is a much more
Yeah,
like widely distributed move instead of
exactly. And no
discharge.
downside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
might be wrong, but I think it's just usable. I feel like it's worse than Absorb Bulb. Unless
I almost
yeah,
want to put
I've
it as
never seen anyone use
extreme.
it.
I don't even know
Sure, yeah,
what.
that works. That works.
It's pretty bad. Cherry berries also don't really use it. There's a better berry for dealing with status moves. Like,
What does it do?
it's paralysis.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, Lumberry is better in every way. So, however, Chesto berry I think is definitely more usable because of rest
Yeah,
shenanigans.
definitely. Like that's the. Well, I could see the fire one too, but yeah, Chesto is definitely the best one.
Yeah, like it's like of the ones that are not Lumberry, because
Yeah,
if
yeah, I
you
mean
get burned or
ones.
paralyzed and then you rest, then the Chesto berry will activate.
I
So
haven't seen anyone use it in doubles, but I think it's pretty good
I've
too.
seen it on just Reggie Steel. That's
Yeah,
all I've seen it on.
Like it has to be super bulky.
Yeah,
So
I think it's more extreme
that one
cases than
makes sense.
usable, but we
Yeah,
actually have like a
probably.
lot of low items for some reason. These are just like a lot of niche niche items.
I
Oh,
wonder if it continues like
there
that.
there there are a lot of must bring items though. So all right, what is not one of those is choice band. And actually, just talk about all the choice items here. Uh, I
Yes,
definitely think uh, Scarf is the best of them, just because of how
easily,
important speed is in VGC. It is
easily.
so important.
I'm actually not sure if Scarf is Spring most weeks. I
I don't
feel
think
like
it's
it is.
bring most weeks. Like,
But it's definitely better than the others. Like series, since it's series 9 we're
actually, I might
talking
just do
about, it
this.
makes the band and the
Yeah.
specs worse. I think if it was series 9 they would definitely be higher. But yeah,
Mhm.
probably specs still over band.
Uh,
But
yeah. Yeah, that works. Like both of these aren't used that much at all.
yeah,
Scarf is the big one though, because you can catch a lot of people with that.
yeah. I personally would probably bring more streaks, but yeah, Scarf is easily the best. I think it's a fantastic item. Even if you just put it on a Pokemon that spams Electro Vapor, Icy Wind, or something,
Mhm.
can be really strong. Yeah, it's one of the best speed controls ways without Prankster or Tailwind,
Yeah.
Trick Room, whatever.
And it's again that surprise factor.
Oh yeah, like you can easily just lose an entire game just because the Scarf surprises you, or just on
Mhm.
a Mon that can one-shot whatever you have on the field, and you're fast and don't expect it.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Damp Rock, which I think is very clearly team based, but it's more of at the bottom of that.
Since it's Series 9, I would put it on never use or only bring extreme cases, to be honest. Just the max moves can change the weather. I think it's actually
I
bad.
think it's never
Yeah, bring
used
extreme
because of that.
cases. Yeah, I
Um,
think bring extreme. I
okay.
think it doesn't need to be.
It's not good.
Yeah. Usually they're pretty fine. At least the water one and this. Now they're all okay, but yeah, with Series 9, I think they're just bad items,
Yeah, I think
unfortunately.
all of them are bringing extreme, or I think they're never used in Series 9.
So I could also see that.
Because why
I
would
wonder
you
if
like
one of
use
them
them
has
whenever
more
they're?
use than the others in Series
My
9.
guess
Probably
is
not,
Damp
right?
Rock.
Yeah, probably.
It probably goes damp, then heat, then smooth, then icy.
Icy is just ugh.
Yeah. We got more bad
Unfortunately,
items, by the way. You know
ooh,
what the
I don't even know
Destiny
what this
Knot
does in
does?
battle, to be honest.
So if you get infatuated, the opponent is also infatuated.
That's amazing. Okay, what if you're up against Eevee, huh? What if you're up
Gmax
against
EV.
Eevee?
I want to see this,
Oh,
please. If this happens, I will be so happy.
like, what a bad item. Holy shit. I didn't even know it does anything in battle. I'm pretty sure I read it once. But yeah, wow. Even if you're up against Eevee, it's I don't know. It's horrible. Like you need to have a Pokemon that's just a single gender, so you know your opponent will probably bring Eevee of the opposite gender, because otherwise it's a guessing game, right?
Hmm.
I don't know. It's
And
yeah.
most of the people don't gender their mons on Showdown, so it's just random.
Oh, I actually try to every week watch out for it, especially because I had a Thunderous, which was always male. So if I put a Destiny Note on the team, it would probably be Thunderous, because I expect my opponent to be female Eevee. But yeah, maybe they're just not scared of Thunderous and still make it male. I don't know. It's horrible.
Yeah, I
Is
want to
there?
see more attract. This is definitely not an item though that you should be using.
Yeah, that's probably the most important part. Like Eevee is the only Pokemon that does that thing. Otherwise, everything can learn Attract, and you never know when someone will bring it. Like it's just nothing that needs a specific draft for it to work. You can basically bring Attract on whatever you want.
Yeah,
So that's what makes it hard to use. Like there's the ability, I forgot what it's called, but every mon that has it has just usually better abilities too.
the cute charm ability.
Thank you, I totally forgot the name. Yeah.
I think it's what Clefairy.
Yeah, like why would you
Jigglypuff.
bring that on those Pokemon? They have way better abilities.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here's one of the most controversial items I think in VGC: the eject button.
I have no idea if it's any good in draft. It probably is, but I just don't know.
I
I guess
hate
it's
it in
probably worth in the
draft.
Dynamax draft, right?
It's one of those things where like you can catch somebody game one, but then the second game you just like you have this liability.
So it's like cheese one game win and then
And it's
try
not
to win
even
with the
like
other 5 Pokemon the next time. Or
and it's not like it's really accomplishing anything because like you are giving up tempo, tricking it, and then activating it for your opponent.
I'm so dumb. I totally forgot about that part. I thought about the actual normal use of the item.
Oh, okay,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, Trick makes it actually way better. Oh my god, I forgot that existed.
Like this is only really used on Hitmontop for like
Yeah.
actually getting ejected out. But I think
Mm.
that like the trick eject button stuff, I don't like it in draft. Like
Like especially Series 9. I don't know if it's any better without Dynamax when everything that hits you gets switched out, or rather.
I played a match
I don't
recently
know.
where I tricked a flame orb, and somebody asked me, was like, why would I use eject button? I was like, I'd rather neutralize the mon than delay it.
Yeah.
And that's what this does. It doesn't neutralize it, or yeah, it doesn't neutralize anything. Like all it does
Yeah.
is just delays. It's not tempo. Like it's not even like you're gaining tempo. You're losing tempo, having to use a turn to trick and then activate
Yeah.
it. And if your opponent
It's awkward.
doesn't max, then you just wasted a turn while their other mon got to do something.
So yeah, I'd say uh, it's nice if you have a really rough matchup to try to cheese one game with it and then just try to win one of the other two in some other way. So it's not completely useless, but hard to do more than just a single cheesy win. If you
Yeah,
even pull it off. Maybe opponent expects it or whatever.
I had feint on one of my mons for a draft match. Like I had Cobalion and Sneasel, and my opponent had like this trick stuff. I protected turn one because I didn't know what I was to expect, and he went for trick. So I was like, oh, feint has higher priority than that.
Nice.
So whenever I maxed him, I wanted to know what my opponent was thinking. He's like, wait, I just showed trick, and then I feinted him.
That's beautiful.
Well,
Wow.
that
And like
was
they lost the turn on their Pokemon because it switched out. That's so
exactly. And then I got to basically steamroll with Cobalion.
well,
So
they didn't even get their one game cheese win.
no, and then I was prepared for it. So it
Yeah.
really wasn't good. Uh, all
Yeah.
right, underrated item now that I want to see more of.
I
The
think it's pretty
the
cool.
eject pack, which this one I guess a lot of people won't know. So if you yourself lower a stat of your own, you will switch out.
Wait, also if you get a stat I thought also when you get a stat
I
lowered.
don't
Like
believe
with a
that's how
max
that
move or
works.
something.
I
I'm
don't
pretty
believe
sure I watched a
so.
draft match where someone got max dragged and their
Let's read
Pokemon
this.
switched out.
Oh, never
Maybe
mind. I
I'm
guess it is all
misremembering.
stat if any stats are lowered.
So Intimidate 2, I would assume? That's
I
what I'm not sure
don't
about. If
know.
it's also Intimidate. I only know it works on maximum, which actually kind of makes it worse. Because you
Yeah.
don't get. Like, what you usually would do is, like, use Draco Meteor or whatever, get a free switch, and next time just have your stats reset or whatever. And, like, if your opponent is fast and uses a stat lowering max move, you just switch out, lose your item, lose your turn with that Pokemon. It's cool, but I think Dynamax makes it a tiny, tiny bit worse.
Yeah, I think if
Just
this
not that
was
often
Series
sense.
10, I think this item could be a lot better because like Overheat, Draco Meteor, Close Combat are all
Maybe not a lot,
moves.
but it would be cool.
Yeah, it'd be much cooler. But with the Dynamax moves lowering, that really hurts it. But
Oh my god, I
I
forgot
want to
Close
see
Combat
somebody use
too.
this with Victini.
Yo, that's amazing. Yeah, I was about to say Close Combat seems like one of the best uses because I already had Draco Meteor and
Yeah.
Leaf Storm and stuff in mind. But yeah, Close Combat makes it really nice. But Victini, that's actually amazing. You don't even lose your speed. Yeah, without Dynamax and Victini, I want to see that.
You can also do it with like Clear Body Dragapult, so that like you can Draco Meteor and then you
Ooh,
lower yourself and they can't lower it for you.
ooh, that works. That's cool.
But these are
It's
all
not the
extreme
strongest
cases.
special attacker. Like you can use way stronger Drake Muse, but it's definitely cool.
Yeah. Alright, moving on. I'm gonna put this item and bring every week only because if you have them on that like uses this, you're bringing it on them every time.
I was
And
about to say this is like the definition of team-based items. Like if you have a Pokemon on the team, like Porygon 2, yes, you bring this almost every week. But if you don't have the Pokemon, you never bring this. So
okay, fine. It's
I mean,
it's
it
above
depends on
the
how you count it.
I guess it doesn't matter order, but it is the best item if you have a not fully evolved like Porygon 2 or Thwackey, Togetic, Togepi. Not full like a good draft will have a not fully evolved that's really tanky, in my opinion, and Eviolite will be on that Pokemon every single time.
It's basically like a 3 times as strong as Salt West, and we already said Salt West is one of the best items.
Yeah,
It's so fantastic.
but yeah, this is one of the best items if you can use it.
Also, honestly, sometimes you just want to put a focus sash on the Pokemon, so I'm not even sure if I would bring it every week. It really depends on the Pokemon,
Yeah,
I
like
guess.
Porygon 2, I would run it on every
Yeah.
time. Togetic,
Okay, focus sash.
Dusclops.
Okay, but Porygon 2 also you sometimes want maybe Life Orb or something, honestly.
You could do that too with Porygon 2. I've run
But yeah,
Mental
it's
Herb
definitely
Dusclops
one of the
before as
best
well.
items. Unfortunately, you can't use it on every team, but I think it's one of the best items.
Yeah. I think good teams will use it though, because it is
Yeah.
that good. Alright, here is a, a very consistent item, and I think it's not bring most weeks, but I think it's just really strong. The Expert Belt.
I was about to say it's really strong, but not that consistent. Because it really depends on your coverage into the opposing team. Like, it really depends on the matchup if it's good or not, right?
Right, I think this is really good on Cinderace actually, because it has stab
Definitely.
in every single thing. But it's obviously a lot worse than like Life Orb or other damage attacking or attack boosting items. But it is definitely a good one if you have something that'll always hit super effective. Like Cinderace
Yeah,
will most often hit things for super effective damage because they become stab.
yeah.
Or like maybe Urshifu, because Urshifu has stupid coverage in draft.
Also, most of the time you want like 3 or 4 attacking moves on your Pokemon, and you have that to actually make full use of it.
Hmm.
Which kind of like, yeah, you need to drop Protect, or you need to drop that one other move or whatever. Like, it's really good, but I think it's kind of matchup dependent. Not really team, but more matchup dependent, probably. It's
Yeah,
really strong, though. Just the
definitely.
20%, like the single type move thing is already good. And this is just, can boost multiple types and not only one.
Right. So yeah, very good item. Just not something you're gonna bring every like most weeks because it's one of the last items you add to your team. But it's still good. All right, Flame Orb. Now I have one case where this was insane, and actually I think it's actually much better than extreme cases. I think it's usable because
Yeah, probably.
well you can switcheroo it, which is what I did, and Guts mods. Like this is the premier item for Conkeldurr, Guts Luxray, Machamp, because it does that. It does it well. Is
How much?
activate
It's a 50% boost, right?
for Guts?
Yeah, for guts.
I don't know. I know it's a lot though.
Yeah, I just want to make sure how much exactly it is. I think 50, but yeah.
1.5 times.
Yeah. And especially if you have facade on it too, it's such absurd
Especially
damage.
whenever it's an Obstagoon where Facade is stab.
Oh yeah.
uh,
Like that was really cool, but there's not many Gutsmons and good Gutsmons, and not many cases where you want to switch through it, especially because it has that 1 turn delay. But where it works, it's such a strong item.
hmm Like just giving like Klefki a way to burn things, or like Whimsicott is quite funny
Like
actually.
What are usually your prime targets that you want to burn? Like
Mudsdale.
Chigigas probably. Oh, Mudsdale, true. Yeah.
Like mons that are like really tanky, but if
Especially
you
most of them. Oh, sorry.
like yeah, really tanky mons that like don't have the best attack, but they are still physical attackers, do
Yeah.
not like Flame Orb because you take their item
Which
and
is
you
usually life up or something.
yeah, or like Assault Vest or Weakness
Yeah.
Policy, and then they are completely useless the rest of the match because they're burned and they have no item to help them. Like this gets around Lumberry like really well. So
And even if you somehow have jungle healing or whatever on your team, you just get burned again next turn. Like even it's so unlikely to have that, but even if the berry
aromatherapy.
exactly. Like I
God.
think I saw aromatherapy once on a draft team, and even that you would need to click it every turn, which is just so bad.
Yeah. But definitely more usable than Toxic Orb. And
Yeah.
I think it's actually much better like in the right hands. So Guts Mons, Switcheroo Trick Mons.
Like
Even
okay,
on
since
some
we just mentioned it, want to rank Toxic Orb real quick because I think the only use where you really want to do is if you have two Pokemon with guts on your team, I guess. Is there any other use for it?
yes, Flareon.
Wait, what does Flareon wait?
Flareon has
What does it
guts and it can't get burned because it's a fire type.
Oh my god, I'm so dumb. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well,
I
it's not that
didn't
you're dumb, you've
realize.
just never seen it because it's bad.
I just totally didn't realize. I thought, like, yeah, but it has guts, but why would I want to use this? But yeah, fire type. That makes sense.
You would use this,
Okay.
like, there's no poison heal mons in the game currently.
Yeah.
Like, if there was a Gliscor in the game, maybe
But
we
then the
would see
item would be
this
bring every week.
if you had
Bring every
Gliscor,
week.
yeah.
Yeah. Bring every week.
I think Toxic Orb is just never used because of
Yeah.
how good Flame Orb is.
Also, which draft has two guts Pokemon?
Exactly. And when are you having both of them like on the same team? I don't.
Yeah.
That might be a bit sketch.
Also, the most like specifically the thing you mentioned earlier, what's Conkeldurr and Machamp both have like three good abilities. Like you never want to bring guts on both, even if you had them on the same team and bring two fighting types
Well, you
or
go
whatever.
special
Oh,
Machamp and always hit Focus Blast. That's what I've learned.
true. Exactly. Oh, also Obstagoon. Also, all three abilities are great if I recall correctly.
Oh yeah,
How do
Obstagoon
all the
is
guts mons have three good abilities?
even Luxray because it has Intimidate.
Exactly. That's absurd. It's not in the game, but Hariyama also. All three abilities are fantastic. What the fuck? This is absurd.
All right. Next up, we have the Float Stone, which is unless you're worried about Heavy Slam, I don't see any reason to use this. Or no,
Well, it
even
just
Heavy
makes you
Slam
light.
makes you worse. Like it makes you lighter. I don't know what that helps you with. So you don't get low kicked.
I guess. Wait, what else is there? Makes
It makes you lighter.
like you already told me what it does, but I didn't even think about what it actually helps you with.
I think it only helps you with surviving like Grass Knot or low kick.
Damn, what a shit item. Like I would rather have the grass reduce or the fighting reduce berry. That's just way better.
Just not
That's so
this.
weird. I mean, like if you're not a grass figure, well, obviously, but then I wouldn't be too worried about grass knot. I don't know. This is so
Yeah.
weird.
All right, we're gonna skip Focus Band. We're gonna talk about the first bring every week item
Yeah, I think this is the best item ever for draft. Like, not even
in
close. It's so
VGC.
absurd.
I'm just gonna
Yeah,
call
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Focus Sash is
Yeah,
the best
exactly.
item in the game.
Oof, I love that thing so much.
Just guaranteed to take 2 hits. Is you can't. There's nothing more valuable. Like
Yeah, I don't even know what to say more. It's so broken.
even if like it gets broken, you still take 2 hits. Like
Like,
there's
this
no
can
playing
just
around
get a
this.
surprise win. Like, just the game on surprise win. And still, even then, compared to what we talked about earlier, which item was it? Yeah, the eject button. They still need to somehow play around it game too, even if they know it, which is way harder than with
And
the
they
eject
know it
button.
more with Focus Sash. Like if you
Yeah,
bring a Whimsicott or you bring a Mean Show, chances are it's gonna have Focus Sash or Liepard, for example. They know this information. but they can't do anything about it because of how strong this item is.
Again, an item that with Dynamax you can't even protect to keep it intact, but it's still so absurdly powerful. It's just broken, that thing.
Yeah.
If
And
you
then
don't bring it, you have either a super, super, super bulky team, or you might build your team wrong.
yeah, when you build a team, ask yourself, do I have a focus sash? Like even some like of the bulkier mods could benefit from focus sash, and you can play them differently because of it. It just creates such a cool dynamic within a draft. It's
The,
like as far as
the,
items go and how risky you play with like or how reckless you play. That also helps a lot too.
yeah, I
Cause you,
think recently I just saw one team. I would not use it. I don't know if you ever saw it. Ultra's team in Platinum Division
I
RPGA
did
currently.
not,
It's
but I'll
just
take a look at
so
it.
bulky. It has the highest base stat total I've ever seen. But
Oh,
yeah, otherwise I would just bring it every week on each team.
yeah. It's a nice failsafe to have. What is a bad failsafe is focus band. Oh, good God.
Uh,
It's like 90% worse than focus sash.
like, okay, if you already have your Focus Sash used and you have another Pokemon that wants Focus Sash, not even then I would bring it, but I would use Bright Powder instead. It's just this bad.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about don't ever
I, I,
use this.
I guess if you set Hail or Sand and still want to have the effect on your Pokemon, but even then, it's so bad, and Bright Powder is just better. It's
Yeah.
horrendous, that item.
Alright, next up we have the gems, although only normal gem is in the game. And there's only one use for this, and that is Silvally Explosion.
Not only, you can bring like fake out Hitmonlee, for example. Like it has
Okay,
uses.
now that is something beautiful. I did not think of that.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, I think is
Wait,
there
I should do that
anything
with
else?
Liepard.
Oh yeah, that works. That has
Cool.
fake out. Yeah.
That's
It's just
actually awesome.
it just doesn't do as much damage. Like the only use is like if you're against the dark type, you can't prankster, so you
Yeah,
still outspeed, I guess. But it has a use.
that's
Not
cool.
great.
But yeah, this is mostly for going boom.
So really extreme cases because you don't want to go boom a lot, and you also don't have Hitmonlee and Liepard on every team.
Yeah,
And
or
even
just
then,
like
barely bring it.
unburdened fake out mons, which I can't tell you how many of those there are off the top of my head. They're
There,
so.
there might not be another one, to be honest.
That might be it. Purloin.
True, true, true.
Yeah. All right. Next we
It's
have
a
the.
fun item, but not
Okay.
useful generally.
Yeah, and only the normal gem is in Sword and Shield, so that's the only one we can base this off of. Oh. Next up we have the Grip Claw, which I don't actually know what this does.
It extends the grip moves by I think it's usually 5, and with this 8 rounds, right?
Uh, yeah, it extends the duration of multi-turn attacks like Bind and Wrap. So like Fire
I,
Spin,
I'm
Sand Tomb, I think also
I,
apply.
I might be wrong with the amount of time, but it's definitely longer. So like if it's actually also counts for the G-Max move you mentioned earlier, it's pretty cool, but not good.
Yeah, it's the same level as Binding Band. Binding Band does more damage, like I guess does more damage faster, while this is slower damage.
Yeah, I think the more damage is better because the games in the Dynamax format usually
They
don't
go
last
so
that long.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't have 8 turns a lot of the time. A lot of these Series 9 games last 5 or 6.
Like if it's not Dynamax and it works for Fire Spin and you bring a Iron Defense Fire Spin Turtle. No, not even then. You want leftovers on it. No, no, this item is bad.
Yeah. Another bad item, Heat Rock.
Oh boy, the Weather Stones.
It's the same argument with the Damp Rock. I think there's no reason to run this
Yeah.
in VGC. Games don't last that long, and the weather gets changed so much. This doesn't matter.
Yeah, it just doesn't do anything, unfortunately.
Now, a good singles item, but not a good VGC item, Heavy Duty Boots.
if VGC for some reason ever goes 6v6, I think this has a use specifically for Volcaronas and Charizards and whatever. Because 6v6, the Stealth Rocks actually do something. But
I feel like
otherwise,
I'd
this
run Rock Slide over Stealth Rocks. Like if I'm playing against Volcarona or Charizard, like that's just
in a
where my head's
6v6
at.
setting, you mean? Like, I mean, in a 4v6 is
Oh,
obviously useless. But
4v4,
if
yeah,
it
that's
was
what I would do.
6v6, that's what I
6v6,
mean. I think then it would be a great item, but only for the double weaknesses.
there's way less switching in VGC than in singles, and
Yeah,
that's why like hazards are so much better in singles than in doubles.
but yeah,
So
4v4
heavy
is
heavy
useless.
duty boots is an item that is most. I'm just gonna call it exclusively singles. I don't really ever see myself using this in VGC.
Yeah. I
Unless
mean,
my
on
opponent is a
ladder,
singles player and their previous 7 matches in the 8-week season, they brought hazards.
uh,
That is the only
yeah,
scenario I would do it.
you would be surprised at the amount of heavy duty boots I saw in the Sword and Shield VGC ladder in low ranks. It's so absurd. I don't understand if they queued wrong or whatever happened, but it, yeah,
It's just awful. Another awful
it's a thing.
item. I don't really want to talk about this one too much. The Icy Rock.
The weather is not even good. Why would you want to extend it? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Hail is so bad, unfortunately.
Yeah. The Iron Ball. So this one drops you on the ground and you lose half speed.
This is a good item.
It's good because unlike Lagging Tail, when you trick this, it goes effective immediately.
Oh, I meant it more like for my own Pokemon if I want to counter
Oh,
Trick Room. But yes, also that. That's also a good use for it. I just not what I had in mind just
yeah,
now.
yeah. Typical uses to make your Mon slower for Trick Room. Yeah.
Also, like really weird matchups where you want your flying type to get a terrain boost or protection or whatever. It's super weird, but it can come up, I would assume.
Do the Pokemon lose the flying type, or how does that work?
Yeah, I think you are grounded if you hold an Iron Ball. Wait, let me check that saying
Because like,
something
does
incorrect.
Charizard become not weak to electric then? Because
Oh
it's
no no,
grounded.
you only touch the ground. That's it. You're still weak to electric.
Ah, okay. So you just touch the ground. Gotcha. Still cool. Like, definitely usable. I've seen Iron Ball used occasionally. So like,
Yeah,
not a
the only
lot, but
explanation I find here is that you can get hit by hazards and stuff, but I'm pretty sure you touched the ground for terrain purposes. I just can't
yeah,
find it on a
which
quick
could
view
actually
right
be
now.
really cool.
Yeah, like your Torokis can't get faked out and click follow me is really cheesy surprise game one win, for example.
Ooh,
Stuff like
I
that.
got it. We give this to Rotom, and we use Rising Voltage.
Oh, rising voltage, you don't need to be grounded. Only for the
Oh,
30%
that's the
terrain boost. But
opponent.
rising
Never
voltage,
mind.
yeah,
God.
exactly. But like you still get 30% boost, which can help to pick up the KO.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. What's a levitating or flying psychic type with expanding force?
Zatu.
Okay, never mind. The item is still good to count.
What
Like,
about wait, isn't Articuno Galar?
yes, perfect. It can get faked out and click expanding force next to NDD. Perfect. That's like that one actually gets used with Iron Ball,
Wait
right?
a
In
minute.
Series 9? Wait,
It can
check
set Trick
Pikalytics.
Room.
Yeah, it's
I want to
it
look into
gets
this afterward because I think that actually seems really cool. Like, because this thing can set its own Trick Room, and if you like use it with expanding force, it can, and it has competitive, so Incineroar's everywhere.
yeah, but that's actually its most used item in Series 9. That's the fun part about it.
It is
Like
really.
Iron Ball Articuno is a thing. That's what I tried to say. It's
That is
actually a thing.
awesome. I want to build
It's
around
such a
this
cool
now.
set.
Huh.
Yeah, every time when I face it, I'm like, ah, fuck, is this Iron Ball or not? Because I just don't know what to do.
I
Like, do
had
I
no idea.
Dynamax and kill him?
That's
It's
sweet.
so awkward. Yeah, here, it's 50% Iron Ball. Holy shit, that's a lot.
My.
I wonder if that's still used in Series 10. That would be nice.
I'm gonna build a team sometime with that because that sounds really fun.
It is. It's really cool.
And then just make sure I have a billion dark types for Cali Shadow. Okay, next item we have is the Key Berry.
Wait, did we even mention that you can use it to counter Trick Room, which is probably the most used case
I think
for
we
it?
said that
Okay.
at some point.
Okay,
But,
good.
okay, yeah. But the Key Berry, this is another one that you should never use. So if you get hit by a physical move, you get a defense boost.
It's so shit.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like, I already got hit by the move. What the fuck to do with it now? Okay,
I mean,
like, if
well,
I EQ myself, I guess, but it's so bad.
self earthquake.
The-
You can like self bulldoze yourself with like a clear body mon and then get a defense boost, I guess. But that just seems terrible.
yeah. Like, most cases, you just want the reduce berry, the damage reduce berry or something. Like, if you have maybe a recover Pokemon that can make use of the +1 defense boost or something. But if it's not a Pokemon that has recover roost or whatever, it's useless. And even on those, I don't like it.
Yeah. Alright, we
Just
got
the
the
stand-up.
King's Rock next, which is one of the funnier items. I don't think it's. I think it's definitely more extreme. Increases your flinch chances on non-flinching moves, and if you fling this, you flinch the opponent.
I think without Dynamax, the item is good. Just for example, Revive, Fake Out into Fling King's Rock. That's just 2 flinches in a row. It's pretty strong.
And then Pickpocket Weavile, if it can live an attack.
True. But apart from the wait, isn't there another item that also flinches when flinging?
I think so, but I don't
I
know
just
what
wonder
it
if
is.
there's one that does more damage. Just to see if one of them is better.
I think they'd be the same. If
Okay.
that's what my guess would be, I don't
Yeah, there
actually know.
might not be another one. I just wanted to make sure.
Uh,
But yeah,
uh,
I think Series 9, the fling use is really bad, but Series 10, it's probably good. I just haven't played a Series 10 draft yet to
I've
judge
seen it
it.
on Cinchino. That's the only mon I've seen it on. Because Skill Link, Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, Tail Slap, just giving those flinch chances is funny.
How big is the flinch chance? I forgot, unfortunately, the number.
What does Showdown say it is? Showdown usually has this information.
Oh, not on the single, but like on the 5-hit move, if you know that.
Oh, it says
I
holder
mean, I guess you
attacks
can
without a
calculate.
chance to flinch gain a 10% chance to flinch. So
So
I'm
it's
guessing it's
basically
10% each time. So you get five 10%ers.
so that's 40% chance to flinch, 41% to flinch. That's a ton. Yeah, that should be it. Yeah, 41%. That's pretty good.
That's actually really good.
Still not a great item. Like, what other mons are there that are fast, have skill link, and yeah, wait, skill link.
Cloister.
How fast is that thing?
Mm, it's jokingly slow, I think.
Yeah.
70.
That's not the absolute worst.
There's only
Okay,
two skill link mons in Sword and Shield.
okay, so
One
yeah,
has
the
base
item is
115 speed. The other one has base 70.
wow. Okay, but when Ambipom arrives, does Ambipom get fake out?
Ambipom? I think so.
Yeah. Oh my god,
So
when Ambipom arrives.
remakes, we're doing that.
Oh yeah.
I hope we get good remakes for like good draft format for the remakes. I'm ready to.
Oh my god,
I'm
it also
ready.
gets Fling. You can fake out, then use a few skilling moves, and then on the last turn, or when you definitely need to flinch, then you can fling. Just 3 move slots and your item dedicated to flinching, and your ability. But I think that's really cool. That's a fun item. Not good, but really fun.
Yeah. All right. The lagging tail, which has a use now. Actually, no. This is the one that I think you might flinch for. It might be this one.
Ooh, I don't know. Wait.
I mean, the common use for it now is tricking it to your opponent so that they move last in the priority bracket. But
Which is basically the only use for it.
yeah, which is another one of
Uh,
those bringing on extreme cases.
Okay, you could actually put this on an analytic mon. You don't want to, but you could put it on an analytic mon if you really definitely need the damage and you're way too fast or
Yeah.
whatever. But you shouldn't usually do
I
that.
think
No,
it's
I
just better to use like Thunderwave or Scary Face because of how the speed changes are in this generation, where like those are instant and this is not instant because they
but
still
yeah,
get the turn with like at their normal speed like tier.
I can't find the fling effect, so maybe it actually doesn't have one.
Just does damage. It's more of a extreme cases like it's used in VGC or at least in Series 9 on like Grimmsnarl or prankster stuff.
So
Mostly.
basically, the Iron Ball isn't enough of a speed reduction, so you need Lagging Tail, right?
Yeah, that's what
Or I
that's what
guess
it's
if you're
for.
about to set Trick Room and want to make it slower.
Well,
But
even
yeah.
like so, lagging tail does work with Trick Room. Like,
This is what I mean. When Iron Ball doesn't work and you want to
yeah,
set Trick Room or whatever.
but
So
it's very extreme.
what it does is good, but it's not used a lot because it's really situational.
Yeah. All right, leftovers in VGC.
I think it's item team based actually, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
we should probably move a lot of these at some point. We'll maybe do that at the end.
yeah.
But this one I don't like using. I just feel like VGC is much more fast paced and less about stall. But
There's
like,
just a tiny few amount of Pokemon that would ever use it. Like general in VGC, what is there apart from maybe Milotic and Tapu Fini? Just yet now counting
Registeel
Series
and
9.
Blizzy, or Registeel and
Okay.
Blizzy. Those are the only two I can think of.
As for draft, I could see like other super Pokemon like Giratina, the altered form, maybe. That's also super bulky.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's really
Ferrothorn.
not it. Oh, Turtonator. Like, I think if you have one of those Pokemon, you want to bring it sometimes. But if you don't have the Pokemon, it's usually a shit item. Or like Weezing, if for some reason you want to bring the Sludge, the black
Yeah,
Sludge. Yeah,
it's
it's
a
kind of
really
weird.
weird item for VGC because it like heals really slowly and VGC tends to be really fast. But like I've used it on Bronzong because I've Iron Defensed
Oh,
it,
that works, yes.
and then start body pressing things. Like a little bit of HP recovery is nice, but that's if you're going into like your game plan in a longer game. If that's like your Pokemon sitting on the field, like Leech Seed and Leftovers is a great combo because you heal so much.
Maybe it just gets too burst with Dynamax. Maybe it should only be usable.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
don't
think you were right.
I don't like it as much. Just like I
Like
don't
that
like
combined
Leppa
with grassy
Berry.
terrain is also so yeah, Labra is useless. Like even if you're going up against something you know will have pressure, you don't want to use this item. It's so bad.
No, you never want to use Leppa Berry. What you do want to use though, Life Orb.
For sure.
I 1.3 times is a lot, and the life you lose is a price that you're willing to pay every week.
For sure. I think it's worse than Focus Dash. And there might be 1 or 2 weeks where I don't bring Life Hop, but there will never be a week I don't bring Focus Dash. But
Yeah.
Life Hop is so absurdly broken. And it's not dependent on your opponent's team like a
Nope.
Southwest, which is the broken item, but you can't bring it. Life Hop you can always bring.
Mhm. 100%.
It's like just super, super consistent. Like there's basically no way to turn it off. Like Focus Sash, okay, you set weather, you fake it out. There's stuff to hinder it. Life Up, you can't stop.
And with the Dynamax, it's much better because you lose less
Yeah,
HP actually. Funnily enough.
it's so dumb.
Yeah, it's borderline the like compared to Focus Sash is better, but this is definitely I think the second best item.
Yeah, I think I agree.
All right. What is not one of those two good items is Light Clay. I hate screens in draft.
Yep.
Every time I've seen like screens, I feel like there was something better the person could have done. Like something more proactive. Like every time
Well,
I see draft matches, the person who's proactive tends to win more than the reactive. The screens are reactive.
I actually think, depending on the prep on your team, it can be really good to bring screens. but I don't like to focus a draft pick on it or to always bring it or to force bringing it or whatever. I think it's really matchup dependent. Whenever I see someone first pick Lapras in the draft, I cry. I think it's such a horrendous Pokemon.
I'm glad that somebody else thinks
Ah,
that way.
it's so bad. But yeah, I think if you really have a specific game plan, screens can be good. But really game plan dependent. Nothing you can do every week. Like draft your Grimmsnarl, bring screens every week, dynamic Lapras every week, whatever. Not great.
Yeah, Lapras
So
doesn't
yeah, it's
even do enough damage to like warrant to the Dynamax, which is why I hate when people put like clay on it because it doesn't do any damage.
yeah, screens are, in my opinion, are there to protect your Dynamax Pokemon. But if you Dynamax your shitty Lapras that doesn't do damage, what do the screens do? I don't understand. I personally don't understand Lapras in draft. Also, your opponent, when you have Pokemon that are really only there to set screens, they can't just bring Brick Break or whatever.
Yeah, like everyone will ring Brick Break against the Lapras team.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't like it. I
It's
don't
a
like
it's a
it. The
usable
item.
item by like definition, but we have a bias against it.
Yeah, like I said, the weeks where it's a game plan, it can be strong, but it's just usable. It's nothing you want to do every or most weeks.
Right.
It just doesn't work. Sometimes the reduction isn't even enough against what your opponent does.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Next up, we have the nerfed berries of this generation, and I'm actually gonna be bold and put them up here. So this
Wow.
is the oh god, I'll see. Can all right? Can you name all five of them?
I have no idea. I should look up which one I need.
So we got a guave, Ayapapa, Figgy, Wiki. What's the other one?
I didn't even use them when they were broken, so I definitely don't know the names now.
What is the other one? Mago. That's what it is.
Ah,
Okay,
I
yeah. I think they're
could have named
really, really
Arguab.
good.
That's it.
Like on like bulkier mons that you have. I think they're actually much better than every like. I'm only putting them there because comparing to everything else, they're significantly better. Just need.
I don't like them in draft. It's just so hard to expect what Tomodoro does. Like on ladder in VGC, you know what kind of Pokemon deal what kind of damage, and you can calc exactly and use those berries. In draft, your opponent can range from super offensive with choice specs to super defensive with the Salt West and no attack investment. And one of them just kills you before the berry procs. The other one doesn't bring you in proc range and just attacks you, kills you with the next hit or something. To me, they feel way too situational to really do what you want them to do. But I also never tried bringing them, so I might
Uh,
completely be undervaluing them. But
I think they're
I
much better than what we listed so far, so that's why it's up that high.
I like them less than the two in team based, but yeah, they're pretty good items.
hmm
Also, if you have something with gluttony, they're always fantastic. It's gluttony, right? Is it called gluttony?
Yes, gluttony, like
Okay,
Snorlax.
yeah. Then
Yeah,
they're always fantastic. So I would have probably put them in team based because gluttony just makes them strong items.
yeah. All right. Now here's one that is very difficult to rate because of how
Is it Lum?
Lumberry. Yes.
Okay.
So this is the one that is significantly better than what Cherry, Rost. We didn't get to Rost, but we will. This one cures any status. It might
I think
honestly
it's a
be team based.
yeah, it's a fantastic item which depending on the team, I would easily put in bring most weeks. But on some teams, it's just super useless. So team base is probably the better thing. But just stopping burns, spores, sleep powders, or whatever. Or if you play against the Venusaur, you can put the safety goggles on one Pokemon and Lumberry on another or
hmm
something. Or on your physical attacker against so it can't be spored or burned. I think it's a fantastic item, but yeah, really team and matchup, mostly matchup
Yeah, I
dependent.
was gonna say matchup dependent for sure. You're gonna put this mostly on physical attackers for burns. Second is the sleep stuff, but
Also, just T-Wave speed control, but that's like a secondary. You put it on your Pokemon so it doesn't get put asleep or burned. And then if that doesn't happen, maybe your opponent also has the backup of a speed control option that you deny. I think it's a fantastic item,
Yeah, I do too.
but you just can't always use it. I wish I could put it into Bring most weeks, but it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. You ready for another item you won't use much?
I almost brought this once. Oh no, wait, I didn't. It was Absorb Vibe.
Luminous
Almost.
Moss.
That's so shit.
I don't know what this even does. I read it
When you get hit
recently.
by a water move, you raise your special defense. Like it's shit Absorb Bulb.
Oh
Like
god.
like you really need to be out here surfing your Pokemon to survive an attack from your opponent. It's so awkward. It needs setup and then it just doesn't do a lot.
It's so
Because
funny. If this was defense, I could actually maybe see it because you can pair it with body press, but ugh.
like okay, if you want to survive 2 water moves of your opponent, you will probably use Partial or Citrus Berry or whatever. So it needs to be self proc, but then you don't want to priority self proc. So it's again only surf, in my opinion. And you need to want to survive something specific or recover Pokemon or something. I don't know. Just
We can stop trying to
avoid
hurt our
this.
brains figuring out what this does.
Just surf
It's
in my
really
opinion. It's
bad.
shit.
Alright, Macho Brace, which the only VGC effective is, it's the same as Iron Ball. It just lowers speed. But I feel like it's
That
a
doesn't
worse
ground
Iron
you.
Ball.
So like if you want to not get hit by ground and still stay flying, but want to reduce your speed. So it definitely has a use. It's pretty decent, but oftentimes Iron Ball is better.
Yeah. Alright, moving on. So this is called the Moranga Berry. Which, what did I say this did? If you're hit with a special move, you gain special defense. It seems
Oh
like
my
so many
god.
items want you to surf your own team.
Yeah, that's again basically the only use I see, and it's still bad.
It's so bad. Like, why are we raising special defense? There's Assault Vest for this. There's Max
Hate it.
Quake for this. What do we need this for?
I don't know. I never seen anyone use it. I don't think anyone will anytime soon. It's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. Alright, here, we got a good item now. We got the
Finally.
mental herb. Which I almost want to put it bring most weeks, but it makes no sense there.
Yeah,
But just
unfortunately
how
not.
bad all these other items are, I didn't know how bad every item was.
I'm a bit surprised. It's way more bad items than I expected. But yeah,
But
Mental Up is a great item. It's really team based. Like
yeah,
you have teams where you would not bring it a single time, and teams where you would bring it every week. It's
so like
super
Trick
dependent.
Mons are the general holder of these, or something like Tornadus, where like your
Yeah.
opponent can bring Taunt, and that's what it's mostly for. Although, what else does it block? I just know it blocks Taunt, because that's the relevant one. What do you block? You block Attract,
I
Disable,
assume.
Encore, Heal Block, Taunt, and Torment.
Wait, so it doesn't block Cursed Body? Oh no, wait. Now that doesn't make sense. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. I was confused for a second. But yeah, it's in the same tier as the Eviolite, which honestly sometimes you bring Mantle Herb instead of Eviolite on, for example, Dusclops, Porygon 2, or whatever.
Yeah,
Because those are Pokemon you always have to expect an Eviolite on. So you
exactly.
bring Taunt for them because you can't one-hit KO them. And then you get punished by wasting your turn and them getting a Trip Room.
Right.
It's pretty good.
I've done that exact scenario with the Dusclops.
Yeah, it just makes a lot of sense. Or just if opponents know what you bring and you just change it every week, they need to have a plan for either. Just have to be able to OHKO it if it doesn't have an Evilite, also need to be able to taunt it if they have one. It's
Hmm.
kind of cool.
Which means you can snag a game.
Exactly.
And also, like
I
on
also.
Mons like Mimikyu, this is fabulous.
Oof, definitely, yeah.
All right.
Or just
Metronome.
generally, like you earlier said, sorry, like you just pranks the support Pokemon so that can't go for only one support move and then
Ah,
nothing
yeah.
else. Like on a Thundurus, it could work or something. It's
Yeah, because
pretty
then,
decent.
like, Whimsicott can taunt the Thundurus.
Yeah,
Oh, or not Thunder, or Tornadus. They want to set Tailwind, but then they can't. Then you set Tailwind with your Whimsicott, and then you're off to the races.
exactly.
So you can get tempo out of that, but Mental Herb is there solely for taunt, so anything that wants to set Trick Room or is weak to taunt from the opponent, it's a good item. Unfortunately, Metronome is not.
I wish it was.
I
It's
do
really
too.
cool.
I want to see this on Dracovish.
Oh, that would be so absurd.
Just
Like the
like put
match
this
doesn't
in.
last long enough that it's relevant.
Just set this in Tailwind with Metronome, Vicious Rend, and it just gets stronger, stronger, stronger. Oh
So remember
man.
how we mentioned surf like every other item. Okay, what about surf spam with this?
Oh, perfect.
Have a luminous moss, have a absorbed by Pokemon on my team, and have a surf user with,
We need to build a team
with
that the sole
Metronome.
goal is to surf ourselves as much as possible and use all of these
Uh,
items. Oh
and just
god.
have a point of wonder. My surf does more damage every time, and then just lose because of an unexpected roll. It was just Metronome killing
How
them.
high does this go up in damage multiplier?
Oh, that would be
It
so good if there's
it
still a
goes
limit.
max to double damage after 5 turns.
Oh, if you imagine having your Pokemon actually live for 5 turns and clicking the same move over and over. That's just the most unrealistic thing. But it would be so cool.
Oh, it'd be so funny. All right.
You could actually win in a like endgame where opponent tries to recover, stall you out, and you suddenly do double damage.
Yeah.
Like if you specifically try to set up an endgame where that happens, which is just impossible to do in draft.
All
Also,
right.
you need to be able to kill it, the double damage. But yeah,
All right.
funny item.
Next item we have the Unite item. This is the Muscle Band. And this is the same tier, I think, as Expert Belt, where you're bringing it as kind of a last case.
Oh, I think this is actually bring on extreme cases. I don't even think you want that. Like you bring the expert belt, the life orb, and then you also have the specific type item. I don't think I would bring that over a specific type item.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there too. Unless you have something that, or like, if you use every single other item, then you would use this. But
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to be able to boost two different moves, but usually you rather have more boost on one specific type, right? I don't
yeah,
know. It feels
just because
awkward to
like
me.
it's stronger. I don't
I
know.
can see that it's used, but most of the time, in my opinion, the single type boost is actually better. But it
Yeah,
can make sense. Just 10% just doesn't change that much about the damage roll.
yeah. You know what else 10 doesn't change much of? 10
HP.
HP. That was just a
Man,
smooth transition into the Oran Berry. Oh
did you
god.
ever think Barry Juice is bad? Well, we have a treat for you.
So
Ah.
there's a video that somebody made of like confused players. I don't know if you've seen it. And his opponent brought Oranberry Blissey. It is one of the funniest things. Just because
Oh
of
my
how bad
god.
it is.
That's the funniest thing. Oh my god. I wish I played that player. That sounds so
It
funny.
was a singles game, but the Blissey had
I-
Endeavor as well.
Do you even see the Health Bar move on a Blissey when it gains 10 HP?
I
Like,
don't
do you
think
even
so.
see that?
It's just like the tiniest sliver.
Oh my god.
It's so bad.
Oh.
You need
Wait,
to
okay, how
question your
much?
life if you use
Yeah.
Oranberry in a draft match.
Okay, how much HP does a level 100 Blissey have? 362, right? Wow, yeah.
That's not a big percentage. What? That's 10 out of. That's 10 HP out of how many? Did you say?
Yeah, 362 if I see correctly here. That would be like, yeah,
So
not even
that's
3%
that's
that it moves.
yeah, 2.7%.
Oh my god.
That's
I mean, I don't know if the
hilarious.
stat is correct. I didn't open Showdown. It's just that's what it looked like. Wow.
It's so funny though. All right. This is Pecha Berry, which don't need to talk about too long. It's worse than Lumberry.
Oh, this just heals a specific.
It's poison.
Oh my god, poison. I thought it would be finally the burn one, which actually has a tiny use, but yeah, poison, that's so
Yeah.
useless. I'd rather have the all-round berry on my Pokemon, not
All
gonna
right.
lie.
So if Zach was building this tier list, this
Every
item is
week.
bring every week.
Like all
He
over
loves
the
this
sash
item.
even.
Power Herb. 2 turn moves. One time use for it to be a 1 turn move.
The item is really cool.
I think it's actually really good. Is the thing. Like, no, joking aside, Meteor Beam
Depending
is
on the team, yes.
the great move. But like Geomancy, Skull Bash for a defense boost. I guess that's not real realistic. But Phantom Force. I think it's actually much better. Like other than the Meteor Beam stuff. The Meteor Beam Power Herb is a known really good strategy. But I think it can do more than that.
Yeah, like if you have a draft where the item is good on, you will use it a lot. I almost once brought Thief Thunderous just to get rid of my opponent's thingy and then have a 1 turn fly. But yes, it's just too bad. It's just too shit, unfortunately. But it would have been so funny.
That would have been awesome. But it's a really
Uh,
like solid item. Now that Meteor Beam's a move, if Meteor Beam wasn't a move, this would be bring on extreme cases. But
like,
now
yeah, you
that
need
but now that
Xerneas
there's a
or you
good
never use
move,
it.
now that there's a good move that we could use this with, like
Like, it's really only Xerneas or something where you need Solar Beam, I guess. But yeah, it's.
Solar Blade as well.
Oh, move exists too, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, with Mio Beam, it's actually team based and good.
Yeah. All right. So the power items, the bracer, the lens, the
Yeah,
EV
same as
training
Macho
ones, yeah,
Brace.
same as Macho Brace, so we don't need to harp on
Good,
those.
but most of the time use Iron
Oh
Ball.
lord, protective pads.
The
Now
fastest never
nobody knows
used.
what this does. We had to look it up. So if you make physical contact with somebody, their abilities will not affect you. Like as far as static, flame body, iron barbs, like the stuff that punishes you for touching the opponent. It's like you
Quick
can't get.
question.
Wait, what?
Did you happen to look up if it also affects Rocky Helmet?
I did not.
Ah,
And I
shit.
don't think I need to because of how
I mean,
bad
it
this thing.
doesn't really change the item. I was just wondering.
what sick human would run this?
Can't think of any use. Like, I mean, obviously, yeah, prevent damage, but like, where it would actually be good and you want to use this as a primary strategy in a draft. I don't see it.
I would just run a Lumberry at that point. It's
Does it,
cool that this item exists, but
does it
it.
document Fluffy?
Wait, you said.
Pro Protective pads. Okay, it's just effect, so it doesn't circumvent Fluffy, right? No,
Oh,
that wouldn't make sense, right?
no.
Because then it would actually be useful in the one matchup after 4 drafts you've done when you finally play against the teddy bear. But yeah,
I
no.
like how you have to, like, find the most extreme case to make this work. And it
Yeah,
just
it's
doesn't.
no. Like you need to play against the opponent who has like 2 static mons, 2 flame body mons, and whatever. Yeah, unfortunately not useful.
Quick Claw. I hate relying on random effects in draft because obviously consistency. Quick Claw is one of those items that it's extremely not consistent.
Yeah, I mean most of the time you bring choice scarf. Quick claw is basically when your choice scarf isn't enough, or if you need to
Or your
use
Pokemon
like a
has 5
non-damaging
base speed.
move. It's I don't know. I don't understand when you would use this item. It's
It's Shuckle. That's it.
I guess, but like there's also custom which you could use at least. I don't know. The
Yeah,
item is just
Cussap is better. This
it's
is
just
not.
Thing
I
is,
think
it
this is never
can.
use. I don't
The
like
problem
it.
is, it can turn around the game easily on a few Pokemon, but most of the time, there's just other items that are reliable and also can help turn around the game. That's more my problem with it.
Yeah, I agree
That
there.
you can't just find a different item for the matchup that just does something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're
It's
gonna put
not exactly understand.
Berry preemptively and never use. We've already discussed why Berry was better.
Wait,
This
what's that one again?
burn.
That's the only one apart from Chester, which I think is decent. Because if you have a physical attacker that you really don't want to get burned, but opponent also has something that could paralyze it or something, and you have
But
a
then you would
Lumberry on your
just
Pokemon, then they could just burn the berry basically by paralyzing and burning in the same turn. Like it's super niche, but I think
I'm
it
not using
could be
it.
bring on extreme cases.
No, you're not buying. You're not selling it to me.
It's better than the poison one and the paralyzed one. Worse than Chesto, but I think it has a use. But yeah,
I think it's so
maybe
low.
just then put it. Please put it at the top of never used.
I'll put it right. I'll
Behind
put it
Berry.
right next to Berry. No.
Ah, okay. Fair.
Uh, all right, red
But yeah, I
card.
think this can. Okay.
Because of Dynamax, it's a never use item, but I love using this with sturdy mons.
It's a fun item.
So it's if you're in a pinch, like the same thing with the pinch berries, like certain HP stat. I think it was less than 25%. I don't remember. The opponent gets switched out. That hits you.
Oh, I thought always when they hit you.
Okay,
Are
we
you
need
are
to.
you sure? I think it's when they hit you. You just need to survive, right? Do
Yes,
you
you
need
do.
to
You do
survive?
need to survive. Maybe it is when they hit
Okay.
you. I thought it was a pinch
Yeah.
thing. No, it
I'm
says if
pretty sure.
holder survives a hit. Never mind.
So like study makes sense because you need to survive, right? So
Exactly.
I guess study makes sense. But yeah, it's
I didn't think.
definitely
I
cool
didn't.
without Dynamax. And even in a Dynamax format, it can work. Like I've
But
seen it just on the Series 9 ladder. You have it on your Whimsicott to switch out your opponent's Incineroar that fakes you out or whatever. Like it's not consistent, but it can be good.
yeah. Again,
But
sturdy
Dynamax makes it
mons.
worse, as you said.
Dynamax, yeah, hurts it. Ring target. This is a meme item.
It just takes too much setup for not doing a lot.
You
It
have
can
to
be
trick
fun
it.
in some matchups, but yeah, that's the only thing.
So
Like,
I was playing a VGC team with this ring target Whimsicott, and so the goal was to give like Lando the ring target so you can use Lucky to kill it. I lost a game because I forgot I had this item, and my opponent's last mon was Reggie Drago.
oh my god, that's amazing.
So whenever he used
Oh
Dragon
my
Energy, I'm like, wait, why did
god.
Whimsicott die? And I bet you my
Oh my
opponent thought the
god.
same thing too. He probably thought the
That's
game was
so
bugged.
funny. Oh my god.
But I lost
Like,
a
hey, in
game
the best
because
of
of
one,
that.
if drafts were played best of one, that item might actually be not bad. It might actually be usable. But I think it's too bad to even count as the like cheesy game one game win like a check button is because it's just too weird
Yeah,
and requires
it's
more
just
setup.
much worse. But hitting
But yeah,
things like
in
hitting
best of one
Lando with
it's good.
electric moves is funny. Hitting Celesteela with a
Uh,
ground move can work. That's about all you're doing with it.
yeah.
All right, Rocky Helmet.
I think that's a decent item.
It
Just
feels like
again,
it could be.
yeah, just again worse because of Dynamax because it just doesn't contact,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
All right, room service. I've seen this a lot, and I'm thinking team-based items or matchup-based items actually could be
Yeah.
like really
I would
decent.
probably put it in usable because there's not a lot of matchups where you will bring it. But I think it's a good item. When you have the matchup, it's really good.
Like the one case I've seen this be absolutely insane is the Kyogre. Like a Torn Ogre team that sets Trick Room and then Kyogre comes in and gets this speed drop was like won an award for like the best set. Like
Nice.
it was insane. Like this person did this actually multiple times and got to the first seed.
Nice. Yeah, that's the one use, and the other use is just counter your opponent's Trick Room. Like have a Pokemon that's faster than your opponent's
Yep.
Trick Room Pokemon, when the Trick Room is slower. Like where I used it was Incineroar against the Calyrex Ice, and also had Will-O-Wisp on my Incineroar. But yeah, it's super situational. Like if you use it as a counter for your opponent, but as you said, if you use it with your own Trick Room, it's probably more team based than usable. So yeah, you can probably interchange it, but I think it's definitely a good item, and also hard to like expect, in my opinion, because it's so new, probably.
Yeah, it's definitely a niche matchup dependent item, obviously for Trick Room, but it can come out and be really effective. And I think it's not just a one game thing. It can be effective in multiple games.
Yeah, because like if the speeds actually turn out that way, like there's nothing your opponent can do. You're always faster in or outside of Trick Room, so that's what makes it kind of not a one game thing.
Mhm. All right. Safety goggles.
That's a bring every week item if you play against Venusaur,
I
Amoonguss, or
honestly
Corona
want to
every
put
week.
it as most weeks. A
Yeah,
lot of
like there's
drafts
not.
have Rage Powder,
Mm,
like a lot of, and or like because Tangela, Fungus, Amoonguss, Tangrowth, and then Sleep Powder with Spore. Like I actually see those a lot more than typical because every time I face one of those with my current draft team in one of the other leagues, I run safety goggles on my Cinderace. And I've run
yeah.
that set like 3 times so far in these 6, 7 weeks.
I was also surprised how many times I brought it. I
So
mean, yeah, there's also the chance that depending on the draft type, you can play against a Venusaur and a G-Max Venusaur on a different team too, which makes the number of teams higher that have
yeah, most
sleep powder
leagues
and
that
stuff.
like I'm part of don't do that anymore. They just
Yeah.
have one
It's just
Venusaur.
more example. But yeah, the item, if you have the matchup, it's pretty crucial to have. It's just that good.
Yeah, it's it's very good in certain matchups, and it's not like it'll win you again one game. It can win you like because then your opponent can't use their sleep powder on it. Like even
Mm,
though you get them the first game, it still impacts how the second game is played because you can't go to sleep for sleep powder. You can't get redirected by rage powder. So it changes everything that they have to do. It makes your opponent's life harder. And items that do that are really, really good.
yeah. Even if it's just Venusaur you're going up against, you could do Lumberry, but you can also do both on two different Pokemon or whatever.
Exactly.
It's just,
And
I think it's a fantastic
I
item.
had
The weather is
this.
just a nice bonus.
So funny you mentioned that. This saved me, my Cinderace, from dying to sand.
Same thing happened to me. I also saved my Thunderous from set.
Like I would have, because I got
Uh,
crit, and I would have lost the game if I didn't have this item because I would have died to sand.
I, I also got crit. What the fuck?
So yeah, it's really good. Scope lens. So Togekiss, Inteleon,
Absol,
Drapion, Absol,
Kingdra.
Kingdra, which I've played Kingdra a lot in draft and never thought of doing that, and I should have.
Yeah, it's not too great because then you can't get the speed boost which you
Max
usually
Airstream.
want because Kingdra isn't too fast. I guess. I
I had a
guess.
team with redirection in Kingdra. I should have done it.
Just wait for Honchko to come back. Then it will be good.
Yeah, but so 50% crits on the Super Luckmon Togekiss, and if you use
Yeah.
Focus Energy plus this thing, you guarantee crits. So things with Sniper, it
Like even
powerful.
it is team based because you only use it on those mons.
Okay,
But then
sure.
you don't even no. But I was about to say. But
Oh,
even then you don't bring it like every week, like Eviolite for example. Like
okay. If that's
it's
the
teamly
case, we're
banded
moving an
and
Absorb
then
Bulb down here.
situational. Like it's the combination. That's what I tried to say.
Okay.
When it's good, it's fantastic.
All right. What was this thing called again?
It's shed shell.
The Shed Shell. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So if you were like
I think.
binded and
Yeah.
you.
No. It's not. No. It's definitely bring on extreme cases.
Okay.
It's not never used. Like, so it makes that you're able to switch out when you're in influence of magnet pull or arena trap or whatever. So I think it can be good, but I also never saw anyone use it. So I'm probably wrong here and never use this way it should go. But if you expect your opponent that their main strategy is to trap whatever you have that's a threat to them, you can put it on the Pokemon. But then also it doesn't do the damage it's supposed to do, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not as good as
Yeah,
other
you're probably
items.
right. Just put it down. I
It's
brought it once
unfortunate.
almost, but just changed my mind again. Yeah, it's just
Shell Bell. A good
yeah.
Unite item, but we're
It's
not
not
playing
on
Unite.
extreme case. It's worse than Shed Shell.
Yeah. It doesn't heal enough, and there's berries that heal better. So like if you
You
want
just
that
use
effect.
the leftovers instead.
Yeah.
Like,
Citrus
well, you
Berry.
need to do contact, right? You need to do damage for it to
Yeah,
heal.
yeah, you do.
Okay, good, good, good. Citrus
Maybe.
is fantastic.
Okay, maybe
I
Berry.
would have. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
more
that's what
like
I would have
that.
done.
This is one of those, again, one of those fail case items. If you don't know what to put on something, you'll be fine with a citrus berry.
It's best filler item, honestly.
Yeah, it is 100% a really good filler item.
I mean, it's obviously just good to bring it on certain Pokemon, but at the same time, it's also a great filler item when you don't know what to do. It's just
Hmm.
good, that good.
Yeah. All right, we're not talking about the rock because that's the sand one, and it again, weather is not like it's not a good item for Dynamax or weather can
Bad.
change. What did the ice ball do again? Or what was
So
this called? The
remember what
snowball.
Cell Battery and Absorb Pipe do. It's jet,
Yes.
but worse. So when you
Oh.
get hit by an ice move, you get +1 attack. But other than water and ice, than water and electric, you don't have like discharge or surf. You only have moves where you need to target your teammate to proc it, which is horrendously bad. Also, probably most ice moves have the 10% chance to freeze, so you only want to target your ice type teammate or something. It's just super useless. If there ever is a surf for ice types, then
They need to make a new move that like a new ice move that hits everybody, and then this still wouldn't be good. It's not.
yeah,
It's just so bad. All right. Stat raising pinch berries. So there's only three that I think are any useful. It's Salic,
yeah.
which is speed, Lychee, which is attack, and I think it's Pataya or some weird word for special attack. And
Pattaya exists and is one of them, but I don't know which one.
I think it's special attack. I know Lychee is attack and Salic is speed, but I've used this with Fling and giving like my Metagross a weakness policy boost and then a speed boost or then another attack boost. So I'm thinking they're team based
Yeah, the
because of
fling
like
strategy is super good.
yeah, that's what makes them good. They're not good unless you have the Fling stuff,
Mm.
like where you can proc a weakness policy and then get the boost.
Like, I guess you can use it on a sturdy mon, but it's really bad because yeah, you get the +1, but next turn your Pokemon is still dead.
You'd rather a
The,
weakness policy a thing on
yeah.
those anyway. So
The funniest news I saw was weakness policy expanding force in DD that gets the Petaya, whatever it's called, flinged on. That was cool,
yeah.
but that's the only use, in my opinion, for the berries.
Yeah. All right. Super
So
effective
I
damage
would probably
reduce.
put them in usable. Like, yeah, they're team dependent, but you also don't bring them every week if you have the team for it. I think they're just usable, the stat raising pinch
Okay,
berries.
yeah. And then super effective damage reduction berries.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it. You bring them every week.
for sure.
Like you
I
don't
agree.
understand how like valuable these are.
They're low key broken if you
Yes.
know how to use them correctly. And by that I mean put them on a Pokemon that's weak to the move.
Yeah, and like try them out for yourself and see like Grimmsnarl with Babiri Berry. Mostly what you see.
Okay, what do
Uh
you think is the best of them?
Babiri.
Okay, I would have probably said Shuka or Chari, but
Shuka's
yeah.
good. I don't think Chardy is as good. Because a lot of the mons that are
What?
weak to rock are
No.
4x weak to it.
Okay, true. I guess.
It's funny. They just die anyway. But I think almost all of them are useful except for oh, what was the bug one called?
I don't even know. I don't think I ever read that name because it's really useless.
Did a Jeopardy board with this as one of the answers. I don't remember what it was called though.
Like even the normal one is good, which is surprising.
The Julien Berry?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was really cool.
I mean, it's basically Porygon Z and Regigigas, but it's good.
Yeah. So, yeah, super
Yeah, they're
effective damage
fantastic
berries.
items.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
obviously, since it's the collective thingy, you can bring multiple for a week, and you often do so.
I like how whenever like you did my Mono Steel team, you said there were 3 honorary members of my team, and 2 of them were the super effective damage reduced berries.
What was it? Sugar and Oka, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That just,
great.
how often did you bring them
I
so
bring
far? I mean,
Shuka a lot more than Akka.
yeah, I mean, it's ground is just better and more spread. Also, the way better max move. They're just so good.
Yeah, they're all really good. Like in the perfect scenario, which actually happens more than you think, you can set up like you can come up with a game plan for it much easier than not. It's
Also,
just
usually, sorry, or rather your opponent, kikes for specific KOs or
yep,
whatever. So maybe they get exactly a 101% KO percent damage against whatever you have, and then they just deal half of that. Your mon survives and gets the attack off. Like it completely can ruin what your opponent prepared.
exactly, yeah. And I guess there's more mind games for it too. It's like your opponent has dark types. I'll throw in a Colbur Berry. Oh, they have a Dragapult, Casa Berry for like my Bronzong, for example. Like it is so versatile, so consistent, so reliable. It's very clearly you should bring one every week. All
If it's
right.
just one crucial attack you need to get off, exactly, just also for something like that. If you need that one, I don't know, electro web to make them slower or whatever, just survive one attack, get it off. Or rather, Tailwind, that's probably the better example.
Yeah.
Just
All
tank it
right.
once and then,
Sticky Barb. Oh
damn.
God.
Dynamax did you dirty. Not that it was any good before
Each
that.
turn, holder loses 1/8 max HP. An attacker making contact can receive it. Can receive it. Not
No, I think
always
it's
receive it.
guaranteed.
Oh, it is guaranteed? Okay.
I thought so, but now that you say can, I thought it was
I
guaranteed.
don't know. But this is never used and you should never use it though.
Problem is, Rocky Helmet exists.
Yeah.
Wait, also, oh, can receive, because obviously when they carry the item, they can't. I think that's what it means.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh my god.
That
I
is
forgot.
that is even
Yeah,
worse than what we thought it was.
yeah, I forgot about that part that they can't get it. Like the item would be cool in a non-Dynamax format, where usually Rocket Helmet would be better, but it would be fun. But
Yeah.
just they always have an item, obviously.
Always.
Oh, oh man, I hate it now. What if also protective pets, huh? Can they even get it?
Oh no. We have to tech against the sticky barb.
I
Said
think
no
Sticky
one
Bite is
ever.
fun. I would love to use it. It's a fun item, but unfortunately unusable because for some reason everyone. Okay, okay, wait, okay. What if you play against Acrobatic Havelucha? This is the counter against Acrobatics Havelucha. I finally found it. Better than Rocky Helmet because you nerfed the Acrobatics.
Just change
The
your
one
Discord
use.
status to I found the counter to Acrobatics Halucha. Oh
Oh,
lord.
damn, I like this item now and I want to somehow use it. I
It's
mean, the
one of the
thing is, it
cooler looking. It looks like a ninja star kind of thing, like the 2D version. It's just
weakness policy on everything in Dynamax would theoretically make this cool if Dynamax made contact. I
yeah.
could actually see it being used if
You
it
could just
weren't for that
knock
fact.
off, and then when your opponent attacks you, they take it.
Perfect. Love it.
Okay. Terrain extender. Um, I think it's the same thing as the rocks.
For some reason, I feel it's better. It's probably
Oh wait.
still as bad. Just the Dynamax makes it shit. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a tiny bit better. I don't know why. Wait, which moves is it? Fairy, Electric.
Grass
Uh,
and
yeah, it
psychic.
doesn't really seem
Yeah,
spread less. I guess Psychic isn't spread too. I don't know. Yeah, it's still not great.
no. But what is great are the seeds.
Definitely.
Like,
Especially the defense raising one because of body press, like you mentioned earlier.
right. Like I've seen Haluchas do with electric terrain and grassy terrain the body press stuff because it gets the defense boost.
Because oftentimes you also bring the assault vest instead of the special defense raising one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're good.
Unburden is what makes these things insane.
Yeah.
And like even like your opponent could have like I ran a Lipard with it because my opponent had Indeedee. So it's like okay I can still do my tricky stuff without Prankster and I'm still really fast. Also max moves can make these trigger. I've seen that happen.
Ooh, that's cool. I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, somebody did that with I think it was a Alolan Raichu.
Nice.
Or that was the only way they set it up was using max one of the max moves. But I think they're really good.
Yeah. I've never used them myself, but I think they're strong.
Generally, if you have terrain on your team, you want to find Unburden. It's just a nice pairing, and
Mm,
and the seeds really like bring that synergy together.
yeah, it's just more awkward if you use it against an opponent because maybe they don't even bring the
Well,
Pokemon.
if it's
So
Indeedee female, chances are,
okay.
yeah, that's like the only one I think, or Rillaboom.
I don't know. I would not expect my opponent to always bring Boom,
I
but
always
indeed, yeah,
expect Indeedee though.
yeah, that one 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Throat spray. So if you are named Sylveon, Primarina, or Komolo, is that right?
Or Toxicity,
Or Toxtricity. That's right. I knew there was another one. I couldn't tell you
then
which.
you still don't use this a lot, unfortunately. Just it doesn't boost first attack, right? You use the attack and then you get the boost. Or am I not understanding how exactly this works because I never used it myself?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I just feel like those Mons could use something better, specifically for draft because of how you can build a game plan. I guess
I'd rather
this is an item where you can put them on it if you have like no, if you use all your other items, but
Yeah, I was supposed to say usually I put choice specs or life hop or something on Pokemon. I don't think it's good. It's probably usable, but I don't think it's good. Well, it's worse than choice specs, and choice specs is not extreme cases, so I
yeah,
guess it's extreme cases. We could probably put specs and banned and usable, honestly.
yeah. All right, we got type-based damage enhancers. So we're
Fantastic.
yeah, I want to say they're almost bring most weeks because of the fact that
Yeah.
if you use your life, like if you have a more offensive based team and you're using your life orb, your assault vest, your weakness policy, whatever, you can just run like a Mystic Water or a Silk Scarf or just make your Pokemon's main attack stronger. Like it's actually
Yeah.
really good. They're
I
underused items
also
for
use them
sure.
a lot. That just yeah. And sometimes also if you don't want the self damage, sometimes I even used it over life or maybe if I just didn't need the additional boost or whatever. I think they're fantastic.
Hmm. All right.
20% is so much.
Yeah, Utility Umbrella. Oh lord. You're immune to the effects of rain and sun. I think that was it.
Also,
I don't think it was all
wait, is it,
weather.
I thought it's all weathers. Like you also don't get hit by sand and ice, right?
No, the holder ignores rain and sun based effects.
Oh my god, I thought okay, that's actually worse than I thought.
Yeah, that's so
What a
bad.
shit item.
Like that's really really bad. Yeah, there's no use for it. I think it's just
Like
bad.
if it ignored the special defense boost from sand, it would still be bad, but I think it could have a use because that's a lot of damage boost if you just calculating what it does to like a Gigalith, for example.
Yeah,
Like I could see to bring this exactly against that matchup or something if it ignored the special defense boost, but otherwise it's pretty bad.
yeah. All right. This is an item that has gotten much better with Dynamax. The weakness policy.
It's just so broken with Dynamax.
It's
It's not
so
fun.
good. You almost want to bring it every week.
It's so many free one game wins you get And then your opponent still needs to adjust and somehow beat your weakness policy strat you brought that week.
And there's a lot of mons that are known to have weakness policy, so like they play scared into it. So, like they don't use like a ground move against your Metagross because they fear that it's
Yeah,
weakness
like
policy.
you don't even need to put it on the Pokemon, and you might just sweep because opponent doesn't attack it or whatever.
It's so good. But I don't think it's bring every week. Because you do have to
Yeah,
have like ways to activate it, and like that is something in itself, but I think it is definitely one of the better items.
like yeah, it can be used without safe proc, but you don't do it a lot, and it's not that great.
Yeah.
So not every week, but definitely a lot.
White herb.
It's a good item.
It's one I bring a lot more often, like on my Cinderace because of Intimidate. It's like, does my opponent have Intimidate? Yes. Okay. White herb.
Like the only other use where you would use in draft is if you want to against Scary Face, for example, like Prankster Scary Face or something, where you expect them to not use Thunder Wave or an electric type or whatever. But apart from that, usually only Intimidate.
Yeah.
It's good, but really super matchup dependent.
Yeah. So I think team based is appropriate for the matchup dependent ones. Like
Yeah,
I bring this every time, like because I have Cinderace. Every time my opponent has Intimidate, I bring this. But that's about it.
yeah. I don't see any other use for it, unfortunately. There's probably one, but not that
Wide
great.
lens. You want to increase consistency. This can do that. This can do that
Yeah,
really well.
it's good with triple axle.
Right, somebody did that in the Players' Cup Invitational, actually.
Oh yeah, true.
Triple Axel Weavile. 99% accurate each hit.
It's so strong.
Although I've seen him miss it. Which is
It's very
1% to
unfortunate.
miss. It's so funny. Or it's
That
so
is
unfortunate for him, though.
unfortunate. Wow. But yeah, it's a decent item. Like, there's not a lot of uses, like you said, the 90% moves that you definitely need to hit. For sleep powder, it's fine, but you don't bring it too often.
No, but it's nice knowing, like, I hate using moves like Will-O-Wisp or Sleep Powder because they miss. This is
Hmm.
a way to, like, make it easier, like, make you feel better.
Hmm. And like, if you don't need a damage boost or something, it
Yeah.
can be better than a citrus berry because you expect to die in one hit anyway or stuff like that.
Yeah, you want to, like, hit
It definitely has
Hypnosis or
some good
something.
use. Yeah.
Although
Well, for hypnosis,
it only
yeah.
raises 1%.
That. What do you mean 1%?
So, like, Triple Axle goes from 90 accuracy to 99.
10%, do you mean?
10%, sorry.
Okay. Okay, I was
My
confused what you
decimals
meant.
in my head are off.
All fine. But yeah.
10%, that's right, yeah.
That's why I was about to say it's not that good in hypnosis, but yeah.
So,
Wait,
like,
hypnosis
Hypnosis
base
goes to
60 or am I?
66. Yeah.
Mm. Like, it doesn't do a
Uh,
lot, so I'd rather use it on, yeah,
it's so
sleep
good.
powder.
Alright, two more. Wise Glasses. It's the same as the Muscle Band, I think. Although it might be a
Yeah.
bit better.
I don't really see a difference between them, but maybe.
I don't know.
It's just usually you want the type boosting items
Yeah.
or the expert belt. It's not a lot that you want that
1.1 is
thing.
not a lot.
Yeah.
And then finally, the zoom lens. So like the wide lens, but you have to go last, and it's a 20% boost instead of a 10. But
I
I,
don't
I
see any
mentioned the
use for
crux
that
of
item.
mentioned the crux of it. You have to go last.
Yeah. There's just no way you ever want that thing.
No. All right.
Wait, by how much did you say it improves the accuracy?
1.2 times, so
Okay, that's nothing.
20%. Yeah.
Like analytics, zap cannon or something, if it always hit would be cool. But if it's only 1.2, no, that's not worth it. If it was always hit would be a cool item.
Yeah. All right. So after 1 hour and 50 minutes, we have obtained the list of really bad items.
Yeah, that's true. It's like 3 good items and then only shit.
Yeah, just rename all these categories. But I think that
Uh,
we gave Well, we gave more than expected insight on a lot of these items, though. And
Yeah.
so that was the goal. This is a lot of fun to do.
And please hit us up if you find a good use for sticky barb. Just send
Yeah,
us videos.
yes, please. You will be rewarded with nothing. uh, well, anyways, that's gonna do it before we hit 2 hours. Julien, any final words?
Also metronome and sticky barb. That's my
Yes.
final
If
word. I
you
forgot what's
build a
metronome.
team with either of those two items, let us
Or just
know.
any of the ones we mentioned together with surf. Those are also great.
Okay, so we need to build a surf team and we need to build a sticky barb metronome team.
I mean, metronome fits on the surf team, but yes.
Oh, we put them together. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the surf user has
Definitely.
the metronome. Got it. All right. And with that, the tier list is complete.